See this chart right here? See that last line on the right all the way up? October 2014. Each of those lines represents previous months this year of Silver Eagle sales. U.S. Mint Silver Eagle sales. And as you can see, massive, unprecedented demand for Silver Eagles. So there's one thing you can be rest assured of. When you see huge demand for Silver Eagles, specifically Silver Eagles, the rest of the silver market follows suit. It's the same. Silver sales go up everywhere. In other words, not just Silver Eagles, just silver coins, silver rounds, etc. So people are, keep in mind, when you hear or see a chart like that, shows massive sales of silver. That's not silver that's used for industrial purposes, right? That's not solar panel silver or electronics or anything else. It's strictly investment grade silver. So if all of a sudden some new technology came out, some new solar panel that was super cheap, easy to install, whatever it may be, and all of a sudden, man, I could offset my electric bill pretty easily with a bunch of these solar panels. They have silver in them. Man, the word gets out. There's commercials all over the TV, and then you have this demand. I'm making this up just for an example. You have this huge demand all of a sudden for silver. You're not going to see Silver Eagle sales and silver coin sales skyrocketing because solar panels. This new solar panel came out that, of course, they all use silver, but everyone can afford this one. It's easy to install. It lowers your electric bill, etc. That's not going to cause people to go out, oh, I think I should go invest in some Silver Eagles. No. And likewise, the opposite's true. When Silver Eagle sales go up, doesn't mean that industrial demand skyrockets with it. No, two different things. So that's two positives for silver. There's industrial use, continuously needed, never stops, and then there's investment demand, which also never stops, but does in fact peak and slow down a little bit, and a lot of people get back into it and it slows down, right? So you have these two forces eating away at all the silver out there. Bottom line is, we've got what, $17.40? I don't know the exact amount. I didn't look today, but $1,200, just over $1,200 something silver or gold. $17.40, whatever, silver. And people say, man, if they've been able to push the price down for this long, why even get involved? Like, why? Maybe I should just sell my silver. Maybe I should, No. These people know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how long they push that price down to where they destroy any sentiment inside the silver bug's mind. That's us, the silver bugs. To where you say, any reasonable, logical person would say, fundamentals, no fundamentals, charts, no charts. The price has been so low for so long, hovering around that $20 mark for a long time, and now they push it into the 17s. Oh, I mean, if they can do that, just forget it. I mean, I'm tired. I should have, matter of fact, I should have invested in the stock market, even though it's lost its highs and it's coming down too, right? It's simple. I've said this a million times. Can a stock go to zero? And have they ever? Yes and yes. Therefore, you lost everything. Can silver or gold go to zero? No. And have they ever? No. Why? Because no one's going to dig it out of the ground for free, and the easier stuff that's on top, easier to get to, means more profit for the mining companies that have been mining it. Or if the price was lower, which it was many years ago, it represents easier to get to silver and gold. The price doesn't have to be as high. You can get more of it quicker, it's at the top, etc. Therefore, the price of it isn't high. But then all of a sudden, stuff gets hard to get to. More fuel's being used, more electricity is being used, more equipment's needed, bigger equipment, whatever. That price of gold and silver cannot stay where it's at. Or else these mining companies might as well just, go out there and dig for free and pay us for them to mine it. I mean, what kind of business model would that be? So you have that one thing telling you that it can never go to zero. That alone tells you it can never, ever, ever go to zero. Can a stock or any paper instrument? Yes, it can. So, at the same time, well, what about bonds? Government-backed bonds, treasury notes and stuff. They can't really go to zero. No, but if the government has a bunch of those issued, which we do, and decides we're getting to the point of no return, we can't pay the debt back. Matter of fact, we're already past that point, or else we wouldn't have doubled it in 4 and 5 years. But we can still service the debt. In other words, we can still make the payment on the debt. So what happens when you can't make the payment on the debt? You have two choices. And one of the choices is devalue. Well, you can devalue the currency, or everybody that's holding those bonds, you devalue what the bonds are worth, which is pretty much the same thing as a de facto currency devalue, But who loses at the end of that? The person with the bond. And if you have a bunch of people who just lost their money in those bonds, because overnight they wake up the next day and the U.S. government says we've devalued the currency or we've devalued the debt, basically, those bonds out there, and you're holding them, do you think those people, countries, whatever, that are holding these massive amounts of trillions of dollars of our bonds are just going to keep, let's hold on to them, maybe they'll go back up? Or are they going to say, they did this overnight, what's going to stop them from doing it again? I'm all out, I'll take the losses, sell. And then the whole world has the same idea for obvious reasons. What happens when you have too many sellers, not enough buyers? Can't sell the bond. Can't get rid of the bond. So prices of bonds would go down even more potentially. Now, the thing with a bond is, normally, let's say like a 10-year note. You have $1 billion, let's say $1 billion bond. Let's just use that number. What happens is, I give $1 billion to the U.S. government. They can borrow it. They're going to give me this piece of paper that says it's worth $1 billion, it's a bond. And they're going to pay me back this little measly interest rate for the next 10 years. And then at the end of the 10 years, if I hold on to that bond, they pay me back in full. So then they give me the $1 billion back. And then for that 10 years, I've been making interest on this. So I get the interest back plus my $1 billion back at the end of the 10 years. But what happens when they devalue it, my 10 years isn't up. And they've devalued it. They devalued the currency that they pay it back in other words. So they're going to be paying me back US dollars. And they devalued them 50%. And now I'm going to get back my $1 billion at the end of that 10 years, but it's worth half the amount of money because of the devalue that took place. So, who wants to deal with that? Wouldn't you rather say, let me just open up my safe. My silver's still there, the same amount of silver's still there. And when all this kind of crap's going on in the financial world, you're going to see gold and silver highly priced. You have to understand, what are all the other, I'm not talking U.S., I'm talking what the world is doing now, making agreements without the U.S. involved whatsoever. What about the IMF and the BIS, Bank for International Settlements? They want a piece of the new financial system that Russia and China and the BRICS nations are creating. There's articles about it. Can we play? Can we have can we be a part of that in any way? They don't want us. And the BIS and the IMF are basically American-created entities. So they don't want any part of it. They're creating their own IMF. They're going to create their own World Bank. They're going to create all these things themselves. And every time they do this and have these discussions, there's no such thing as Hey, America, what do you think? Or do you want to come in and put, help out? No, your name's not even mentioned in America. So those countries are doing something actively, proactively. What are they doing? And what else, more importantly, are they doing? Amassing immense amounts of gold and silver. Yet the price is low. There's not too much news on that. And they keep buying and buying and buying more than they've ever purchased, ever. New records. Oh, they've added more tonnage. They've added more tonnage. Breaking records continuously. Acquiring more precious metals. Does it look like China and Russia and Brazil and India, all these countries, right? All these countries, India, China, Russia, are the lion's share purchasers. But does it look like they care? Oh, silver's down to 1740. Oh, gold's down to 12. We were buying when it was 1600, 1500, 1400, No, because they know what they plan on doing with it. It's going to back their currencies. When the U.S. dollar is fully destroyed, fully gone as far as federal world reserve status, they're going to then say, ding, we're the new reserve status currency. And it may be a basket of currencies. It might be mostly China. It may be all of China's currency, the yuan. There's no telling. All I know is all you have to do is sit here and look at what's happening. Forget the price. Forget your stupid emotions. And look at what is actually happening and analyze what is happening. These new countries, these new superpowers are stepping up full force, which, by the way, China, I just read it recently, has now absolutely fully surpassed the United States as the largest economy. Just read it a couple days ago. China is #1. And I want to be your #1. Yeah, we just lost #1, so they've got it. What are they doing? Buying massive amounts of gold and silver. So any moron should be able to sit back anywhere in the world, because we have all this technology to read and look and watch videos and see what these politicians and world leaders are doing, and say, they're stockpiling gold and silver. And even as the prices got smacked down, they're continually buying massive amounts. So it appears that it doesn't matter the price, they'll buy it all up and give it to them all. Give them all of it. What kind of person would do that when the price is going down? Somebody who knows something we don't know. And that's enough for me to say, I'm going to do what they do. Which is why I've been doing it all these years. Silver, 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 silver. That's my weapon of choice, not gold. Even though you'll be real happy with what gold does. You'll just be more happy with what silver does when these prices are unleashed. So when that day comes, it's going to be this around the same time probably you're going to hear about devaluing currencies and revaluing currencies, and your purchasing power in America now sucks, and oh, that's funny, the price of gold and silver have skyrocketed. And if you're sitting on it, when that day comes, you're going to forget all about this little down pushing that the elite are doing. They try to scare you away. It ain't scaring China away. It's not scaring India away. And believe me, India, China, all these countries over there, they're not purchasing silver eagles. They're purchasing like silver, big bars, and gold, big bars. They don't care about the price. And neither should you, because this was never about flipping silver. I'm going to flip some silver and make some money. I'm going to flip some gold and make some money. This is strictly buy physical gold and silver and hold on to it. Oh, you have some extra money this week or this month or at the end of tax return season? Go buy some more silver. Man, I hope it lasts another year with low prices. Oh, guess what? It did. Tax returns right around the corner now, isn't it? And you know what old J Step 4 is fixing to do with his money? His tax return money? Silver. I've already met my goals. I've set 3 additional goals because they've pushed the price down for so long. Man, I'd like to have X amount. Man, okay, I got that. Now I'd like to go for this amount. Okay, I got that. Now I'd like to go for this amount. Okay, I've got that. Well, guess what? Now it's time for a new amount. And JP Morgan and pals, I appreciate you pushing silver down to the 17-something mark. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask nicely. can you please keep it there or even drop it lower so that right around tax return time next year, I can do a huge purchase and get more bang for my buck? Appreciate that. Take care.